Tank Davis is something different. It's not just the power, though that's frightening on its own. It's the mind behind it. His ring IQ, the way he thinks in there. He breaks fighters down with a surgeon's precision. He throws punches from angles you can't prepare for, like trying to block a knife in a phone booth. You never see the one that gets you. That's Tank. The first few rounds, they're a trap, a setup. He lets you feel good, lets you believe you've got a shot. Then comes the punch, the one you never saw, the one that makes your legs forget their job. That's why his fights are a must-watch. Call it a study in technique if you want to sound smart, but there's no manual for what Tank does. His style, his rhythm, his instincts, they can't be replicated. So what follows here is his greatest hits. Every knockout is a postcard from hell. Back in October of 2020, Gervonta Davis's resume still had a soft underbelly. We didn't really know how good he was. Wins over Jesus Cuellar and a shop-worn Yuriorkis Gamboa didn't tell us much, other than Davis could crack. But then they threw him in with Leo Santa Cruz, and for the first time, we were going to see Davis tested, at least a little. Santa Cruz wasn't some pushover. He had 39 fights, only one loss, and he'd never been dropped. He was a multi-division champion with a gas tank and an iron will. But to anyone paying attention, it looked like junior lightweight might have been a bridge too far for him. When the bell rang, Santa Cruz did what Santa Cruz always did, threw punches like a man trying to swat every fly in the room at once. Davis stood there, chin tucked, hands up, moving just enough to avoid the downpour. By the end of the fourth, Santa Cruz had thrown 241 punches to Davis's 160. But Davis wasn't sweating it. He was doing what he always does, watching, measuring, waiting. That kind of patience only comes from knowing you've got pure dynamite in your fists. And sooner or later, somebody's going to step right on the wire.
Round at number 6. Davis, Santa Cruz's first left-handed opponent since March of 2014 when Santa Cruz successfully defended his 122 title against Christian Mijares. And there's a right downstairs by Santa Cruz that landed with a nice thud.
And of course, we saw his dad in there, taking a look and what must be going on in his mind. Nice right hand by Santa Cruz.
Eat up much of the 5 minutes allotted for him to recover, and they continue here. Throwing punches, a minute 11 left in the 6th.
Put it in there! I think if I was Santa Cruz, I would have taken more time to get myself together.
Green right there!
Not in the Santa Cruz DNA.
I was just going to say, Leo Santa Cruz do that? No.
Don't be ridiculous.
There's a left hand by Davis under a minute left in the 6th. Davis now putting it in there. Santa Cruz standing there, taking it. And coming forward, punches in the toe. Stuff here in the 6th round. Gervonta Davis, Leo Santa Cruz, two champions with the hearts of champions.
If Davis thought Santa Cruz was going to fasten his...
Davis's uppercut hit like a car crash. Santa Cruz went stiff before he even hit the floor, and the crowd made that sound, that rare, sickening mix of awe and fear and holy crap. The kind of sound you only hear when somebody gets it bad. They carried Santa Cruz out, and Davis stood alone in the ring, hands raised. After that, nobody questioned his power. Mario Barrios was no pushover, but he wasn't a legend either. Tall for the weight at 5'10", with a respectable record and a plan that worked until it didn't. The crowd stayed quiet early because Tank wasn't steamrolling his man like they expected. Barrios was too tall, too long, like someone ordered the wrong-sized opponent for the wrong-sized fight. He kept Tank at the end of a jab, circling like a man who knows exactly what happens when you let a pit bull off the leash. Tank said Barrios didn't surprise him. It wasn't the man in front of him, it was the weight, the reach, the strange geometry of the whole thing. He needed time to crack the code, like a locksmith trying to open a door that keeps moving. By the 10th, Tank was done playing.
And Steve Farhood, our unofficial scorer, has Barrios now 1 point ahead. The ebb and flow
And while Barrios is not forced to fight a trench warfare fight, will he be able to sustain and get through, or will he be hurt again by Davis's power?
Barrios again, battering the body of Davis with the right hand.
Barrios has thrown 38 punches, only 15 for Davis in this round, so he's been busier.
Davis walks in, left to the body, starts to back up Barrios. Barrios looking to utilize the finishing right hand, the body by Barrios.
That was a little...
Bobbing and weaving. Sustained body attack by Barrios.
This is going to be a hard round to score, guys.
Oh boy, yeah.
But both had their moments.
Oh, beautiful left hook, left uppercut.
Oh.
Right hand, but then Davis comes back and clocks Barrios. Under 30 seconds remaining. Barrios
He's hurt.
doesn't want to get into a firefight with Davis, but demands that he bring it on.
Barrios was winning that round, but then Davis hurt him.
The exchange of body shots and then another thudding left that scores for Davis. Thunderous 10th round in Atlanta.
Without Gamboa once.
And that was in this very arena.
Yes.
Referee warning Davis for the forearms. You heard the corner watch the forearms. Davis got clipped on the jaw by Barrios.
That was his monstrous left hook, and give Davis credit for taking that punch.
And Davis walking forward, walking through fire. Left uppercut, right hook lands. What a fight between Barrios and Davis.
It almost seems like Davis is looking for a knockout.
Right hand to the body by Barrios.
Ooh, body shot.
Barrios is down again. Third time in the arm.
5, 6, 7, 8. You okay? Come here. Protect
The Aztec Warrior summoning that inner resolve. Davis unloads the left. Barrios a double number. It's over. It's over. Gervonta Davis has ascended to 140 pounds. And Davis has recorded the knockout victory.
It was classic Tank, the waiting, the watching, the explosion. And still, he wouldn't let anyone crown him just yet. All those old ghosts, the Floyds, the Pacquiaos, the Sugar Rays, he knew he wasn't ready to stand in their company. There was still much work left to do. Rolly Romero came onto the boxing scene like every other loudmouth kid who thinks they've got it all figured out. The trash talk, the cocky grin, the kind of bravado that plays real well until someone cracks them in the jaw. He stepped in against Tank Davis, awkward and wide-swinging, trying to box like a real fighter. He doubled up on the jab, moved his feet, kept Tank at arm's length, and for a minute it almost worked. But almost doesn't mean a thing against Davis. He doesn't need to win rounds. He doesn't need judges. All he needs is 1 second and his left hand.
Well, there he did. I was going to say he's not using the jab to pave his way in, but he did do it there. That left just barely missed from Davis.
Yes, it did. He's been just short a couple of times.
Yeah, when David throws that jab, ooh, beautiful, but he just missed it.
Good body shot from Davis there.
Rock them elbows, man. Let's go. There's a little blood, I think, around the forehead of Davis, maybe from a clash of...
See a little distraction there, the mom dancing.
Well, it's interesting, and I think we detected Davis saying he's still a little strong, meaning that they didn't feel like Romero was depleted at this point. And kind of an indication that he felt a little strength from Romero. Ooh, that left by Davis. Man, he threw it with bad intentions,
Yes,
and
he did.
just couldn't quite get there.
He's been very close a few times.
And he's not able to get all the way in because Romero is still using that jab really effectively. Taking those step backs. There it is.
Davis is leading off with the left hand. is very poised in there at this juncture. You have to say that. I mean, it's just a fact. He's looking for big counter punches. He's thrown in on the idea of landing a big right hand or a left hook, and he's using his point jab to try and set that up.
No, you're right, because in previous fights we've seen that he seems kind of awkward, but in this fight he's not looking.
There's a big left hand. Down goes Romero.
On paper, the fight was close. The judges had it split, 2 for Tank, 1 for Raleigh, but none of that mattered once Tank's left hand found its mark. Romero, for all his mouth, knew it too. Afterward, he mumbled something about winning every round, about hurting Davis with jabs, about control. But control was just something Romero told himself when he already hit the floor. In the ring with Tank, he had no control. There was just a clock ticking down to the moment he found him and turned out the lights. They sold this thing like the second coming of Hagler Hearns, 2 young wolves with knockout power and Instagram followers to match. 1.2 million buys, 22 million at the gate. Ryan Garcia had the flash, the hype, the army of followers, enough to get the suits to greenlight it, but in the ring he was still a question mark. Garcia came out fast but jittery, flinging 53 punches in the first 2 rounds. Davis just stood there, calm, waiting. Then it happened. 1 minute left in the second. Garcia left the window open, and Davis slid a left hand through it, put him on the floor. First clean shot Tank landed, and you could see it in Garcia's eyes. That moment when a fighter realizes the water's deeper than they thought. To his credit, Garcia got up, kept throwing for a few more rounds like a man trying to outrun something ugly. But Davis was hunting, patient, knowing exactly how this story would end.
Scores for Davis. There's the right hand from Garcia.
And it's a lead right hand. It's sharp. You want to follow it up with the hook.
Davis continues to win the foot battle, keeping his lead foot to the outside of Ryan Garcia, closing the distance for his trademark left, and there it is. Trying to create an angle.
Tank Davis is really smart. He saw that Garcia was letting go of the right hand, and he was trying to time that right hand.
High ring IQ. Has been in the gym since he was a child. And yes, known for his explosive power and knockouts, but he has the ability to seek and destroy or to box. Oh, right hand by Garcia inside at the end of the...
Yeah, the cleaner punches definitely have been landed by Davis, and he's doing a really, really good job of boxing right now. This is boxing. Look at the angles. Look at he's placing his foot where he wants to. He let go of his hands when he needs to.
He's a power punching counter puncher, Abner.
Yes, he's countering punching really well. Garcia, he's pressuring, but he's not letting go of the jab. He's got to jab a little bit more.
And of course, if you're Ryan Garcia, you still believe that you can turn this, even though you might be losing some rounds, that your power can make a difference in this fight. And he's going to keep trying to make that happen.
You wonder if Davis, trying to set a trap there, has himself again in the corner, but feinting. And he told us that his accuracy is the key to his power, hitting the bullseye. And he told us that he was going to Garcia into a potential counter scenario. Garcia attacking the body with the jab. Doesn't follow up with the right, however.
Yeah, the pressure's there for Garcia, but the output not so much. He's got to start letting go of the hands, keep Davis busy with them.
You know, this 2 months layoff is the shortest Davis has had between fights since 2017. And people wondered, would that be good for him or bad for him or to keep him sharp? So far, things are working out very well for him.
Remember, there's a right hand that caught Davis. Yeah. Another right hand, and Garcia with his best moments of the fight. Remember, Davis did fight in January against Hector Luis Garcia. Garcia decided to forego a final fight. Was supposed to fight Macedo Gesta before this fight. Straight left hand lands for Davis. Alicho on there, Garcia Comes in, scores with the right hook, left hand combination.
Yeah, that's one of the first left hooks, and that wasn't a dynamite left hook, but it was one of the few left hooks he's been able to get in.
Another left hook and a right hand by Garcia. And now, oh, Garcia forced to take a knee.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Wow. Mamma mia! Much like Garcia's promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, who was stopped by Bernard Hopkins following a paralyzing body shot with a delayed reaction.
The final shot was so quick and quiet, most people missed it. A left hand, sharp and mean, straight to the ribs. Garcia didn't miss it. He felt it crawl under his skin like a slow knife. He took a knee like a man who knew he was done. Funny thing, Davis admitted later he was nervous going in. Said he saw all those clips of Garcia folding people up with that left hook, knocking them cold. Even the boogeyman has his doubts sometimes. Frank the Ghost Martin lived up to the name. Nobody knew who he was outside the hardcore fight fans. No flashy Instagram, no rented Lambos, no loudmouth pressers, just a southpaw with a clean jab and a decent brain behind it. Some figured he might be Davis's best test yet. Technical, smart, patient, the kind of guy who could make a man work for his paycheck. The fight started out like every other Tank fight. Davis let Martin get off a few shots, slipped some, ate a couple, letting Martin feel like a genius. The judges gave those early rounds to Martin, and the announcers started whispering maybe this was going to be closer than we thought. But Tank doesn't fight for the early rounds. Tank fights for the moment you forget what his left hand can do. By the fourth, Davis started closing in, cutting off the ring, cracking Martin's ribs just to say hello. He smiled between rounds, that smile of a man who already knows how the story ends. He stood right in front of Martin, daring him to throw, letting him taste a little hope. But hope is a dangerous thing when you're staring down a man built for wreckage.
Level change, the jab downstairs. Martin continues to back up Davis, walking forward, short steps. The vision.
Nice.
Fully locked in. Good defense. Martin, Davis saying bring it. Of course he wants him to bring it. Don't get counter with the left.
Yeah, don't stay on the ropes, Martin.
Frank Martin pulling some real magic tricks out of the corner there and off the rope to avoid getting tagged by Tank Davis. And he did a good job of it.
29 total punches compared to Tank's 32, but as always, Tank landing at a higher accuracy. Under a minute left here in the fifth.
Good jab by Frank Martin.
Yeah,
He's
really
been using it very well tonight. At the right time, he's timing that jab well.
Uppercut, right hook by Davis. The jab to the midsection by Davis on Frank Martin. And the left hand by Davis. A good counter by Martin.
Yeah, you can't just...
Martin's having a good round again this round.
Martin in front of him, trying to cut off that ring. Martin with the double right, the lead hand, going upstairs, downstairs. Missing with the sweeping right hook, though.
Yeah, he tried. He's doing the
Double
right things,
jab.
though. This is a dance for Martin.
Nice
He's
straight
gotta be
left.
one step ahead.
Davis pops Martin.
That was a counter over the jab of Martin by Tank, and it was a solid one. But
Nice lead left hand by Martin.
yeah, he gets it back.
And that's how you get him off rhythm.
Well, that's the second session out of that corner, but that was the only one he landed. Frank Martin pulled a nice Houdini out of that corner on that first set of punches that Tank was throwing out.
Yeah, Tank definitely not respecting that power from Martin, getting in easy. But again, Martin just let out that jab. He's got to get back on the jab.
Oh, there's the jab and the left follow-up left from Davis. A rare combination in the early going. A minute left here in the first half of the fight. And Davis wearing the markings on his face of the offense of Frank Martin. The Ghost Martin who has stuck to his game plan, has had success with his footwork, the jab, the mobility. But now let's see Tank Davis. This is where he begins to really start his fight. He's in the second half of these fights.
And that was great right there from Frank Martin. I know he does not want to open up. He doesn't want to give anything to Davis. But again, he has to keep him busy.
Oh, there's a left hand to the body and the right by Davis. Martin just avoiding that counter. But now Martin half forced to wrestle. And the referee, Harvey Dock, breaking them up. But Martin doing the veteran thing when Davis is entering what for him is a danger zone.
Nice combo by Martin, though.
With his left arm. Moves to the center of the ring again. There's the exit. Trying to create the angle. Oh, wow. Standing in front of Davis like that. High guard, dangerous. Davis misses with the lead left uppercut, but then follows up with another left hand. And Frank Martin forced to retreat on the back foot, but Martin unable to fire back.
Yeah, he's being more
building.
Yes, he's being more stationary now, Frank Martin.
Time in this fight, Davis is throwing more punches than Frank Martin and really opening up a lead here in terms of total punches connected in this round. It's all Gervonta Tank Davis with just over 30 seconds left in the seventh.
In that last session right there, Frank Martin covered up well.
Oh, counter, 15 seconds left in the seventh. It's been Davis's best round in terms of offensive output, just missing with the left, and it's on cue. It's round 7. It begins. Body shots, Martin just 10 of 26 with 0 body shots landed. Round number 8. And the jab goes to work for Martin to the body.
Yeah, he stopped throwing that.
Martin still has a slight advantage in terms of total punches landed, but the gap is closing, and Davis double left hand.
Martin's got to stay out of the corners if he wants to stay in this fight.
Yeah, stay out of the corners. He needs to be a little bit more busy as he is right there.
Now,
yeah,
Martin beginning to deliver those combinations of his, but nice.
Blow right on
and our unofficial score, Joe Goosen, has Davis closing the gap on the scorecards. 2 minutes left in the 8th.
We haven't seen body work from Martin. I want to see that left to the body.
Oh, left uppercut. That's it.
Down goes Martin! Mamma mia! 6, 7. It's like Tank Davis scripts this stuff.
Davis had backed Martin into a corner. No exits left, no tricks to save him. The uppercut landed first, and Martin's eyes rolled back like a slot machine stuck on tilt. He was still standing, but only technically. A ghost breathing borrowed air. Davis could have left it there, but that's not who he is. One straight left, flush in the chin, and Martin's soul took a bus halfway to Atlantic City. Another knockout for the scrapbook. Another unbeaten fighter who wasn't anymore. And Davis strolled out like a lion after lunch. Nothing special, just another night. Another body left cooling under the lights.